Welcome everyone, and welcome to the Food and Beer Whisperers and the Chiseler's Hall of Shame. We're going to combine it. Sometimes we combine it, sometimes we keep them separate. The Chiseler's Hall of Shame and the Food and Beer Whisperers. We are trying a new format. Instead of putting together one entire show into one video, which might be an hour or more, because when you talk about certain subjects, they have a tendency to lead into other applicable subjects, and it goes on and on and on. And just how it is when you're dispensing valuable or important information, or making points of interest to the public. You know, this happens when you ad lib. We do not like to read from a script. We do not like to rehearse. We like to use the old Jackie Gleason system of just ad libbing and you know, just leaving it up to fate, allowing the flow of information to go where it wants to go, similar to a knuckleball pitcher in baseball. You know, just let it flow and see what happens. And it could be much more fascinating to do a show that way. Unpredictability, and that's how I do progressive discussions with the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman. My name is James Piranha Madonna, your host for the Food and Beer Whisperers and the Chiseler's Hall of Shame. I will get to my very special guest, Mr. Tom Mulvihill, the Beer Whisperer, after I do food. Okay. He is. We are here at the James P. Madonna Special Broadcasting Studio at the Newsletter Censored Research Center in northeastern New Jersey. This is where I do my on location shows and miscellaneous programs, aside from the progressive discussions that I do with Dr. Bill. Now, I want to start off by saying, do a little Chiseler's Hall of Shame. Shame on you, Dynasty Buffet in Saddlebrook, New Jersey, on Market Street in Saddlebrook, New Jersey, and shame on you, Bond Buffet on Market Street in Maywood, New Jersey. Okay, and what do they have in common? Well, I'm sure other buffets in other locations try to do this. It's an old trick. When a restaurant first starts, you know, they're so frantic to please the customer. They want to make you happy. They run around, they kiss your ass, you know. But when they build an established clientele, when they grow roots, and they have steady customers, especially when they get really busy every week and they're making good money, they start to get greedy. They start to cut corners. They start to show a little, perhaps, contempt for their customers, even though they won't admit it. And this happens often with regular restaurants, you know, where you sit down and have one entree, and it happens with buffets. In this case, I want to take a whack at the Dynasty Buffet, which is still a top-of-the-line, upscale buffet owned by Asians, and it's an international buffet with high-quality food, and they're very busy all the time. They have a high volume of people going in. Well, what they did was, it appears they dropped the lunch special, the early bird special buffet that a lot of places that have buffets usually offer for lunch. And they charge you, well, this happens especially on the holidays and on the weekends. They charge you one flat rate for the whole damn day. There is no lunch buffet. There is no early bird special. It's one high, jacked up, increased price. And the bomb buffet, oh my God, I think they were charging $17 or $18. They raised their price. And when they started getting super busy, no early bird special buffet, no low price lunch buffet, one rip-off rate, and they omitted what they started with when they first opened up. I did not see any roast duck, no boneless duck, no duck with the bone, no duck. I usually like duck. I love duck, and they started with duck. You would think that they would maintain top of the line food for charging such a premium price. Like they had grilled shell steak, things of that nature. I didn't see any more shell steak. Nah, nothing. They had certain top of the line meats at the carving station. They stopped serving these high quality top of the line meats, and you would think they would keep them for the high prices they were charging. Now with the bomb buffet, they just stopped offering some of the grilled steak. Okay, and they I believe they substituted the grilled steak for grilled some type of beef rib, which is flat, not the big beef ribs that you usually have with barbecue sauce, but it's like a flat beef riblet of some kind. They substituted the grilled steak for that. They used to have prime rib at the carving station at the Bond Buffet on Market Street in Maywood, New Jersey. I don't see any more prime rib. So what I'm trying to say is, many restaurants get greedy when they get established and popular, and they show contempt for their customers, and especially with the Golden Pub on Market Street in Saddlebrook. Shame on you. When he got busy, he really started cutting corners. The portions have shrank down to very small amounts of the meat. Yes, he has a blackboard special every day. Yes, he has an early bird special, which all the local senior citizens take advantage of, but he shrank the portions quite a bit. Little short Slavic man that owns it. I was willing to do free interviews to promote his business at one time, because he advertised having people, barbecue experts from Memphis, Tennessee, come to his restaurant to teach him how to smoke meats on the premises and produce Memphis-style barbecue. Yes, he does produce Memphis-style barbecue, and some of it is quite good. It's very tasty, but his portion shrank. He's a cheap, greedy bastard. Shame on you, Golden Pub of Market Street, on Market Street in Saddlebrook, New Jersey. I add these three establishments. Actually, there's one more. Shame on you, Fridays. You know the corporate chain Fridays? This one in particular is on Route 17 South. I believe it is, it might be either Hasbrouckites, New Jersey, or Carlstadt, New Jersey. I think it is Hasbrouckites. Shame on you. If you go to Fridays or any corporate chain, and by the way, every time a corporation buys out a family-owned or privately owned restaurant, expect the quality to go way down. Expect the corners to be cut severely, and the portions to be shrunken tremendously. In this case, we're talking about Fridays, but all the corporate restaurant chains are this way. Even though the advertisements make it sound like they just love their customers and go out of their way for their customers, it's all a lie. Just like any corporate advertisement. And if you go to Fridays with a coupon, which, many coupons can be printed out at home from your computer, which is what my sister Lisa does. And it's quite convenient. But if you go with a coupon, like buy one entree, get one free, or half price, never show the coupon at the beginning before you get your food. Always present the coupon after you receive all of your food. Because what Fridays does is when they see a coupon ahead of time, they give you like 50% less food. I ordered the rack of spare ribs because I had the coupon, buy one get one free. You know what? The rack I got when they saw the coupon was a lot smaller, wasn't as long as the rack I initially got for the first time I was there for the ribs. They shrank the ribs, and the sweet potato fries was a little scoop like this. Shame on you, you cheap bastards, for the premium prices that they charge. Oh, and by the way, Fridays is very pushy with the alcoholic beverages because that's where they make their money. You know what I mean? So if you have a coupon, they're going to push really hard to make you drink. And we're talking about, like, give me a break, $6 for a pint of Yinling, for a pint of craft beer. And it's not even a full pint. It's like a 12-ounce glass, like Tom Mulvihill taught me. With the head and everything, the standard pint glass is not a true pint. So shame on you, TGIF Fridays. The Golden Pub, Market Street, Saddlebrook, New Jersey. The Bond Buffet on Market Street in Maywood, New Jersey. And the Dynasty Buffet on Market Street in Saddlebrook, New Jersey. Shame on all of you. You're all part of my Chiseler's Hall of Shame. Now, I want to read something. About tomatoes, growing tomato plants. Okay, it has to do with saving seeds for the following year for your tomatoes. What you do, you only select perfectly ripened, really attractive fruits because you want to pass on the best genetics onto your future plants. Selecting a good tomato to save seeds from is the most important step in the process. There's no point in saving tomato seeds if you're not saving them from high quality fruits. The resulting plants and their fruits will be of inferior quality. Here's what you're looking for. Save seeds from an open pollinated rather than hybrid tomato. Seeds saved from hybrid tomatoes won't come true, and there's no way to tell what you'll end up with. This may take a little research. If you're unsure whether the tomato you're growing is an heirloom or a hybrid, a quick internet search or a glance through a few seed catalogs will tell you what you need to know. Save seeds from tomatoes that are fully ripe, but not overripe. Seeds from overripe fruits could already be on their way to germinating or flat out rotting. Alright? Save seeds from the best looking, best tasting fruits on the plant. When you save from the very best, the resulting plants will be predisposed to having those same desirable qualities. It's fine to save seed from plants that have suffered from blight or one of the many wilts that affect tomato plants. And believe me, tomato plants are sensitive and are very open to attack by many blights, by many problems. Okay. And alright, so that's it on tomatoes. I want to read the last part of the food, Whisper, as I want to read a recipe from the Far East, from the city of Singapore, from my very dear close friend and vice president of Holistic Health Talk and our Holistic Health and activist and progressive activist, uh, correspondent out in Singapore, Miss Kelly Chen. All right, Miss Kelly Chen, we salute you. We say hi. This is a recipe for mung bean. It is a kind of a Western type, European type of mung bean recipe. For those of you unfamiliar with mung beans, they are very commonly used for sprouting. They are very tiny green peas, and they are very nutritious and medicinal. All right, what you do is you take your dry mung beans. Let's say you have 16 ounces. Soak them overnight, pre-soak them. Make sure they're well rinsed off in a colander, and then pre-soak them. And then rinse off the pre-soaked water and boil them as long as it takes to get them soft. Boil them with 6 ounces. I'm sorry, 6 cups of filtered water. I use the Brita filter. All right. And after they're done, set them aside. Strain the mung beans, and then get a wok, a big stir-fry pan, or a very large skillet. And what you want to do is you want to put 4 fresh Roma tomatoes cut into wedges, 3 cloves of garlic. 3 cloves of garlic minced. Okay, the recipe did not specify if it was garlic. I'm sure it's not 3 dried cloves. They're kind of hard to cut. 3 cloves of garlic minced. 1 tablespoon of dried oregano. 1 tablespoon of dried basil. 10 fresh basil leaves. Now, if you don't have the fresh basil leaves, I would add 2 tablespoons, heaping tablespoons of dried basil, if you don't have the fresh ones. That should do it. 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, some rice wine. If you don't have rice wine, you can substitute it with any good quality wine. Use a high quality wine that you would drink. Never use cooking wine. It's a big rule with chefs. Cooking wine has all kinds of preservatives. It tastes like crap, absolutely. Do not use what they call cooking wine. Use good wine that you would drink out of. There are many good wines out there. Personally, I like Yellowtail from Australia. It's a very high quality European type wine, European style wine, a very high quality for a very low price. It has a yellow kangaroo on the label, so I like Yellowtail. But there are others, I'm not too impressed with the American California wines. I like wines that have been aged in oak barrels. It's the wood that makes it good. Now, what you do is a low medium flame. Okay, you preheat your stir fry pan or large skillet. Start sauteing the ingredients, and just simply add your mung beans and saute or stir fry that whole concoction. Don't forget to add salt and black pepper to taste, fresh black pepper from the pepper mill, and then serve. And then Miss Kelly Chen said, as a dessert, you can put warm coconut milk and brown sugar and cinnamon, and you can mix that up and serve as a dessert. But I would try the first recipe, the sautéed tomato and basil ingredients. Now, if you want to substitute the extra basil with let's see. I mean, if you want to add fresh cilantro, that might be good to change off. That might be good. Try that. It's not written in stone, but mung beans are highly nutritious, very, very inexpensive, and very good for you in many ways, both nutritionally and medicinally. So that pretty much wraps it up for the Food Whisperer and the Chiseler's Hall of Shame. Of course, I always bash the cheapskates that run the so-called traditional Philly cheesesteak establishments for putting processed garbage, Cheese Whiz, Velveeta, or American cheese on their cheesesteaks. And the ones in Philly all seem to do that. And that's primarily it. I mean, like I said last time, beware of anybody serving gigantic sandwiches, because the fat sandwich that you may be eating may be fat with cheap filler like French fried potatoes, white potato, so they give you less meat. And if you order a burrito, which I never do, it will 9 times out of 10 always be full of cheap white rice, so you get less meat. So become an educated consumer. Now I'm going to introduce you to my partner and special guest, Tom Mulvihill, the Beer Whisperer. This is the conclusion of part 1 of our show. Part 2 will begin when you click on it with Mr. Tom Mulvihill, the Beer Whisperer. Beer expert with a lot of personality. Or is it poisonality? Who knows? Well, you'll see.